a young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C., and either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection. Well, it's not so much Doge anymore. And by the way, I have to say that somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that. A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C., and either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run. But it's not a question of Doge. We have great people, secretaries and all, working with Doge and cutting with with a scalpel as opposed with an axe. They're cutting with a fine-tooth comb, and they're getting rid of people that aren't doing their job, or bad people, or bad things, bad policy, et cetera, et cetera. And I think we've been very successful in that. And there's more cutting to do, but there's also more getting. We want smart people in government. Our country is doing great. I think we are doing probably, maybe in many ways, better than we've ever done before. You know, we're taking in trillions, not billions, trillions and trillions of dollars from other countries who, for years, took advantage of us. They took advantage of the United States like we were children, and that's not happening anymore. Now they're paying a lot of money, and they're paying hundreds of billions of dollars. Individual countries paying hundreds of billions of dollars. You're seeing what everybody else is seeing. And we have a lot of things we can do. You know, one of the questions asked of me this morning is, are you going to make a dividend to the people? And the purpose of what I'm doing is primarily to pay down debt, which will happen in very large quantity. But I think there's also a possibility that we're taking in so much money that we may very well make a dividend to the people of America. Thank you all very much. Thank you. We want to take care of our American workers, and first and foremost, and that's what we're doing. We also want to help our farmers, because our farmers are producing like never before. We have to help them. And we're working out some very complicated strategies and language. But the main thing that I think I was elected to do is to get the illegals out of our country, who are especially in particular criminals. 11,888 murderers were allowed into our country with Biden's open border policy, with our border czar, who never spoke to the Border Patrol, never went to the border one time. That's Kamala. And think of it. We have murderers. We have people coming in from all countries all over the world, from prisons in the Congo and Africa, from prisons all over South America, all over rough parts of Europe, all over Asia. They're pouring into our country. Not anymore. So we just announced we had our third consecutive month where we were rated 0 people. And these are, frankly, very liberal people that make up these charts. So I don't know what's wrong with them. They seem to not be doing their job for the Democrats. But I'm honored by the fact that they say it. We're very tough on the border. And people can come into our country, but they have to come in legally. So I think that we've done an amazing job, actually. But we have to get the criminals out of our country, murderers, drug dealers, gang members. They emptied prisons into our country. It's one of the reasons, I think, even beyond the economy, it's one of the reasons I got elected. It's really maybe the number one. It was between the economy and that. But, as I said before, our nation is doing really well, but we have to get these really bad people. They should have never been allowed in our country. Open border policy is for fools. We're the only country in the world with an open borders policy, but we don't have that anymore. We had 0 now for 3 months in a row. Peter?
President Trump, nice to see you got off the roof all right.
Yeah.
You said this morning that you probably won't be running for a third term. This weekend, Secretary of State Rubio said that he thought J.D. Vance would be a great nominee. You could clear the entire Republican field right now. Do you agree?